What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. Recap of episode 3 of 24/7 on HBO, obviously. Last week, pretty good. I got a lot of hits on the recap, which is pretty cool. It's actually been my most hits on this channel since it changed over. So, obviously, thank you to the fans for tuning in. I love to hear the feedback on my reviews and stuff. I try to do my best Roger and Ebert impression. Really to no avail, but hey, is what it is, right? Great episode last night, as they all are. One of my favorite parts was the Drew comeback from concussion. You get to see, what goes into that, the clearance procedure. You got to see some of it in episode 2, but the carryover to episode 3 was pretty cool. Obviously, concussions are the hot button issue in the NHL today. Shea Weber just went out with one this week. And, they're just such a prevalent issue, and there's so little known about them because, the research hasn't been done. And, you can only really research a brain in its entirety once the owner of the brain is dead. So it's really... looking into that, but I'm really looking forward to seeing. It's good to see Giroux back. I'm obviously not a Flyers fan, but you hate to see anyone out with a concussion. Couturier is out with a head injury. He's coming back tonight, actually, which is pretty cool. I'm really happy to see Mr. Couturier back. He's a great young player, and you don't want to see anyone out with a head injury long term. As long as as much as I despise Pittsburgh. I don't want to see Crosby out for a long period of time because, he's great. Obviously, Crosby's different because his profile is what the game needs and what he can do on a nightly basis. But, even keeping 24/7 Pronger's out this season. Pronger's obviously, even at 37 years old, one of the elite defensemen in the NHL. So, we gotta, it's kind of rough not seeing all these guys in on a nightly basis. But, hopefully the NHL resolves the issue and can make concussions a thing of the past, God willing. But back to 24/7. I liked, speaking of Drew's first game back against Dallas, Ott chirping like a little girl on the playground, as Jack Edwards would say, and getting into it. I'm 10th in the league in faceoffs. Check out NHL.com, which is a pretty good one-liner. And him getting into it with Laviolette, he's a piece of work. I think Laviolette would beat the shit out of him personally. Ott's really a bad role, villain in the game and not really the best influence and best ambassador of the game. He's really a piece of work. He doesn't fight, and he talks a lot of shit but doesn't back it up. And as much as I can't stand Philly, I think any one of those guys would have pounded the fucking shit out of him. Another thing I loved is the first game between the two teams on HBO. Getting the Rangers getting the dub. Obviously, I like the Rangers. They're the only New York team I can stomach, but I hate Philly. So anytime you get to see them get disposed of is a good thing. Who was it? Cicito, someone chirping like a little fucking girl, and Brad Richards getting right back to him. You're in a fantasy camp right now. You really don't belong in the NHL. I'm gonna come over here and pound the shit out of you. Yeah, sure you are. Piece of work. And Torts loves Mike Rupp, and I think everyone loves Mike Rupp. He's a great player and a great ambassador of the game. He plays the game right. He plays high, but he's not a dirty player. He really is a guy I'd want on my team if I was to build a team. I'd want a guy like him out there. He's a glue guy. Everyone loves him. He plays the game right. He plays the game hard. He throws himself in front of pucks. He mixes us up on the forecheck, and he's really, really a skilled third, fourth liner that can, bury goals here and there. He scored the cup-winning goal in New Jersey in 2003. So, it goes to show you, he's good at clutch time, too. Before the game, I liked Laviolette going out and getting a nice New York meal in a pub. It was just pretty cool, and to see himself on TV, which I'm sure happens a lot to NHL players and coaches. The Rangers Islanders games always, they showed that was a great, scrap-filled game. Dubinsky getting on the score sheet, just fighting through a couple checks and burying one. He's a really skilled, tough player, and he's great. He's a great ambassador of the game. Plays the game right and plays the game the way it should be played. Him and Callahan are two of the best ambassadors the game has. Speaking of scoring, Gabrick's on fire, and it was shown in that whole episode. Like getting a couple against New Jersey, and then burying against the Islanders too, which is pretty cool. He's on he's got 7 goals in the last 5 games. He's on fire. He's such a fast player with tremendous shot. It's too bad he's been injury riddled most of his career, and you really can't see what he offers the game. It's almost like Pavel Bure, both in the injury history and speed and shot and offensive abilities. He's a tremendous player, great goal scorer, and can really make defenses look bad. He's that kind of player, and he's leading the NHL in goal scoring right now, which really is no surprise when you think of the skill set he has. Playing alongside a guy like Brad Richards is awesome. And he's really they work off each other real well, kind of like Richards with Lecavalier and Marty St. Louis earlier in his career with Tampa Bay. But, it's great to see Gabrick. The Gabrick bought a Christmas tree. That was one of the episodes, and he carried the Christmas tree up to his apartment, which is pretty sweet. It's good to have a Christmas tree lot, down the street from your apartment, and pretty good to be able to have the strength to carry it up to your apartment. It's pretty cool. Drives a nasty Beamer too, I might add. I'm sure he tips his valets very well. Seems like a pretty decent dude. Wearing the Yankees hat, but I can't hate him for that. You're playing in New York, you gotta rock the NY. As painful as that is to admit, I never would. I know my loyalties lie, but someone I think he's from Slovakia. Gotta fit out the locals. So I guess the Yankees hat really isn't the worst thing you can do. But Christmas time, it's good to see the way different players celebrate Christmas. Scotty Hartnell having a nice little Christmas party at his house, at his condo in Philly, nice penthouse, and going to church. Even hockey players go to church. It's a pretty good thing, and practicing your religion and showing praise to God's always a good thing, no matter what your profession is. Celebrating Christmas with the locals in the Philadelphia community is always great. And Brizgalov's Christmas dinner of the Brizgalov, I'm sure his kids are nice kids. I'm sure his wife's very nice, but it's just scary every time they show him. The Siberian Husky was biting the kid's arm off at one point. I was kind of like, where's child services when that's happening? I mean, all due respect, your dog's not supposed to take your kid's arm off. That thing was gnawing on it. The thing he calls a beautiful blonde woman is Siberian Husky, which is really scary. It's a gorgeous dog. Don't get me wrong, but wouldn't want that thing coming at me. Those things are tough. I'm gonna fur them in the Malamutes. They're both beautiful. I'll take my 30-pound Shih Tzu any day. I didn't mean that sounds gross and dead, but hey, Shih Tzus happen. No pun intended. And the dinner, the duck, Russian. They were drinking wine, which is weird. You see Russians just pound vodka on a non-stop basis, but that's part of it. His wife's gorgeous, as most hockey players' wives are. Obviously I'm sure the money is something to do there because he's just a weird human being. And what I think is, I hate critiquing people's fashion, but when they shoot him off and do the interviews on the side, he's got a black bomber jacket and the orange Philly color t-shirt, kind of like that. You got the black and the orange, just pretty sweet to see that. He matches up very well. He's a very fashionable man for as weird as he is. My favorite part of Christmas was showing the Boyle family. Obviously, played hockey with Timmy growing at CM and Rockland, Mark Davis's and the Mark Davis Arena for Mark Bradley's bomb squad team. That didn't do too much. And I had Chris Boyle as a theology teacher. Probably my top 4 favorite theology teachers at CM. Him, Brother Cavett, Miss Malionik, Mrs. Seals. Miss Paz was a left-wing liberal that was way too far left-wing, and Mrs. Scott had up his ass too much. Hopefully the people at CM don't see that, but probably will. Anyway, Mr. Scott's not a great theology teacher. But anyway, keeping it the positives. Good seeing Mr. Boyle get some FaceTime on HBO. That's what you want to see. Good guy getting some FaceTime, and Timmy Boyle doing this. Come on, Tim, what the fuck's that? Seriously. Dude, you're on HBO. National TV audience, and you're doing this? I'd be getting down, but I won't be doing that shit, that's for sure. Anywho, the One Classic's getting closer every day. We're 4 days away. It's going to be raining in Philly, so it's going to be miserable. Just the city of Philly is a miserable place. I hate to put down the good people of Philadelphia, but come on. Every time I almost got the shit kicked out of me when I was 15 by 2 30-year-old Flyers fans. So my hatred for Philly runs deep. It was a traumatic experience. Now they try to do that, I would have wiped the floor up with them, but shit happens. Next week's the finale. I can't. I wish they could just have 24/7, like different teams every week. That'd be awesome. As a hockey fan, I'm looking forward. Actually, the Patrice Bergeron on NHL 36 would be pretty cool. Seeing how Berge lives his life as a hockey player is pretty cool. That's it for the Power Play with CJ review of HBO's 24/7 episode 3. Stay tuned for more episodes. Throughout the week, or the last episode's next week, but stay tuned for more episodes of the Power Play throughout the week and throughout the hockey season. Later, guys.